Admitteds abound between Adam and Sally. Nate walks out on his meeting with Jill Jenmer. The young and the restless. Nate ignores Elena's counsel. Victor wants Sally out of the picture, and Sally is rescued by Chloe on today's episode of The Young and the Restless. Nate meets up with Elena at Crimson Lights, where Elena expresses sorrow for contributing to the tense situation between the two of them previously. She recommends a night of romance, but Nate asks for a postponement since he needs to finish setting up the first ever Chancellor Winters Music Festival before Devon returns. Even though he knows Elena disapproves, he's prepared for any eventuality. In spite of offering Devon his preferred barbecue, Elena remains skeptical. Nate considers that he may not have vetoed the idea after all, and that things are now set to go. Elena begs him to wait until Devon gets back and gives the scheme the green light. The answer is no, according to Nate. No, we can't wait much longer for this to take place. He plans to get Lily's opinion, and she's fairly impartial. This proposal will never get Devon's approval. His wife Elena nudges him. Devon is his superior. Therefore, ignoring him is a career-ending move. While Nate insists that things are different in business, Elena isn't buying it. Nate's intuition were a major factor in him being employed, so he plans to go with his gut. I'm sick of suppressing my true feelings only to make Devon happy. If Elena didn't try to persuade him to take it easy, she'd feel terrible about herself. I beg you, can you please do this for me? Billy gives Lily a kiss as they meet at Chancellor Winters. She tells him that his mom called her with some big news. So far as Billy can tell, she has no plans to embark on yet another global adventure. Lily feels it's something else, so she's had Devon, who lives in Virginia, phone in too. What it could be, Billy has no notion. As Sharon checks her phone outside of society, Nick approaches. She was curious as to whether or not Faith had shared any pictures. Nick assures her that she should not worry about the couple's daughter. Nikki is on a conference call, so Victor is left to fend for himself as he is greeted with an empty office. Sharon and Nick both agree that this is not a good place to eat lunch, so he goes in to find them a spot. Nick dares her to tell his dad to head back to the ranch, but she feels it would be nice to spend some time with someone who loves Faith just as much as she and Nick do. Emmys. From the inside, we hear Victor, Nick, and Sharon discussing the Bible's Moses and Faith stories. Victor is concerned that they will become too serious and prevent Faith from concentrating on her schoolwork. Sharon is moved to tears by his thoughts of her family's support and affection for her. Faith's departure to school and Sharon's ongoing grief over Ray's death have left them both feeling vulnerable, so she has to take a break. She will prevail, you know. On the outside, Sharon tries desperately to hold back her emotions. Nick and Victor talk within society about Faith maybe working for Newman Enterprises someday. It is for this reason, in Victor's opinion, that they must secure its continued strength. He inquires about Sally's purchases and restates his desire to have her replaced with someone who can restore profitability to the division. Nick gives him a disapproving look, making it apparent he doesn't like the concept. Sally arrives at the rooftop bar, where she observes a melancholy Adam at the far end. In an attempt to lighten the mood, she nervously asks, "What does a female have to do to get a drink around here?" To rest, Adam offers a chair. Since he is confident that they would be able to enjoy a drink together, she decides to give it a shot. They talk about her success at Newman Media, and she credits Adam with helping her get there. Nate wants to talk to Lily at Chancellor Winters, but Billy says she left the building. Eventually, the topic of Jill's meeting call comes up. Whatever it is, Billy thinks it's rather significant. Nate complains about Devon to Billy, who acknowledges that the former is traditionally careful about commercial matters. Nate feels their connection has added unnecessary complexity. Although Billy won't second-guess Devon's decision, he does think losing Nate would be a shame. Nate says he's been looking for this and hopes he'll give him a chance to make his case. Billy points out to him that, as COO, he lacks the authority to approve anything. Nate is still insistent that he listen to him out. Billy, as Nate concludes his presentation for the music festival, exclaims that he thinks it's great and that it provides him a chance to show off a bit. Good judgment comes naturally to him. When Lily enters, Billy explains that Nate was just briefing him on the music festival, which in Billy's opinion has tremendous potential. Lily has said that they would discuss it after the conference call, but Billy tries to get Nate to tell Devin and Jill about his proposal, and he finally does. Nate calls Jill to see how she's doing, and Jill calls Devin to ask if Moses is planning on attending college. Lily is curious about the nature of their summons. It all depends on whether or not you accept Jill's proposal. First, she inquires about Nate's health and well-being, wanting to know where things stand with them. Billy interrupts to say that he has a brilliant plan for their music festival. That was supposed to be nailed down, or so Devin assumed. Nate defends it on the grounds that it offers high potential returns and that he has answers to all of his cousin's criticisms. Jill says, "Wow, that's enterprising," and Lily exclaims, "His ideas and the performers he's got up are great." Devin claims he is an authority on the matter, and that this is not the best time for the corporation to make this move. Jill is interested in hearing Lily's reaction to the proposal. She proposes they have an internal conversation about it after she has had some time to review the data. Jill appreciates the heated discussions, and she says it warms her heart to see how dedicated everyone is to the company's success. Billy and Lily are still curious about the call's purpose. Leaving her current position is an option that Jill is seriously considering. "My goal is to make the business public." There is universal bewilderment. Nick assures Victor at Society that he won't replace Sally, who will become a great leader in the future. He has doubts that Adam and Sally's stellar work in the media department accounted for all of its success. It's unrealistic to expect a single family to handle all aspects of running the business. Victor believes that the strength of the company may be attributed directly to the organization's family values. He is upset because Jack has hired Adam to work at Jabut. However, even if Victor has no voice in the matter, he will nonetheless steer the ship when it comes to the company's most important decisions. As soon as Sharon returns, she wants to know what they're talking about. Victor announces that he is firing Sally Spectra and replacing her with Nick. Nick, indignant, reveals to Sharon that Sally's departure is not final, and blames his father for wanting to humiliate Adam. He is not interested and does not think his sibling is ready for it. His defense of his brother comes as a complete surprise to Victor. Nick believes Adam has chosen the best choice for him. He has a deeper appreciation for him now that he knows they have a sad connection. Victor protected them from legal ramifications for murder. Even if Victor doesn't feel like talking about it right now, Nick tells him that Sharon is well aware of the situation. Sally, clearly hurting on the inside, adds calmly that now that they've made amends, they can enjoy a cordial cocktail as friends. In an intimate gesture, Adam brings his face near to hers and admits, "I don't feel like simply a friend right now." Sally's phone rings and it's Chloe just as they're about to share a passionate kiss. There is an emergency at work that requires her immediate attention, to which Adam replies, "Do you have to leave right now?" Sally affirms that she absolutely does, citing numerous supporting arguments. While at the Society, Victor and Nick argue over whether or not they should bring up what happened with Ashland in front of Sharon. Nick states that both he and Adam agree that he needs to see a therapist. Victor will not express regret for having to shield his children. Nick doesn't anticipate that Adam will, but he finds it intriguing that this could be the catalyst that helps him comprehend Adam's motivations. At Chancellor Winters, Jill argues that now is the time for risky, ambitious action, and she turns to Nate and says, "Don't you agree, Nate?" To remind, a global series of music festivals would be a great idea. Going public has caught Lily off surprise, and she needs some time to process everything. Devin is concerned that they will lose a lot of autonomy if they do this. Yes, Billy thinks so too. Nate mumbles that for some, control is paramount. Devin chimes in to remind them that from the beginning, the plan was always for the business to be run by a close-knit family. Lily seeks Nate's opinion on a matter. He storms off, muttering under his breath that he'd rather let the pros handle it. Jill is curious as to the context of that occurrence. Just as Elena is about to enter the office from the outside, she overhears Nate cancel the festival and ask the other party on the line to send a bill to the company. He hangs up and admits to Elena that her decision to remain at Chancellor Winters was a mistake. "I'm out,"